Hello, I am back with my second video. Well, first of all, the elephant in the room to me is that I really thought only 10 people were gonna view my video. I forgot about it, didn't look back at it, went on with my day. The last time I checked, it had like 8 views, mind you. When I checked it again, I got a lot of comments, like reading through all of them. And people were so nice. I was all scared. I finished the video like a week before posting it. And then I got a few subscribers and I was like so happy I got my first 100 subscribers. Then I checked a few days later and it kept growing and I'm so excited now because I have so much to share. And now there's actually people listening to me. So the first video that I really wanted to make, I know it's long overdue because everyone's already shared theirs, but since I didn't expect people to even find me, I thought I'd just start with a podcast episode. You kind of get my vibe. Also, new flowers. Last time people liked my flowers. So my autumn knitting plans. I've divided them into the classic categories of sweaters and tops, then accessories. And then, isn't that the 2 categories? Yeah, okay, 2 categories. And a crochet category. Put the crochet at the end because I know there's many people that only knit or only crochet. So then I've divided it, and if you don't care for the crochet, you can just skip that part. Also, what am I wearing? So this is actually the first sweater I ever knit. Ever. So my knitting, also a few questions. My knitting journey started in 2024 because my resolution back then was to learn how to knit. Because I've crocheted ever since I was little. My mom taught me when I was very young. And knitting was always hard to me. I understood the knit stitch and I could make a garter stitch item. I'd never knit in the round. I'd never knit on small needles or anything. So my resolution was, my New Year's resolution from 2023 was to learn how to knit in 2024. And I did that by starting this pattern. So it's the Sunday sweater by Petite Knit, because I'd heard that Petite Knit was a very beginner-friendly pattern writer. Also, it's by chance that I picked this pattern, which I'm very, very happy with, was my first. Because this is a circular yoke and it's not a raglan. So you gradually increase and there's no German short rows. So I didn't have to even go back and forth. Also, it's knit on 7mm needles. I did take a very long time, but it would have taken so much longer if it was on a smaller needle size. And I bought a Drops Alpaca Air and a Drops, not Kid Silk, but the Alpaca something. So it was quite a cheap way to learn to make my first sweater and learn how to knit. So I knit this. Funny thing, every stitch in this sweater is twisted. Every single one. I posted this on TikTok when I first started. Crocheter learning how to knit. And then all of a sudden people were like, your stitches look neat. Very neat. Is it twisted? And I was like, no, I don't think so. I don't know. Then I Googled what is a twisted stitch. And then I looked up TikToks on twisted knitting. And then I realized like everything is twisted. Mind you, I'd already knit the body and I was on Sleeve Island. So I decided to put my head in the sand and just keep swimming, keep knitting until I was done. Also, I had a very bad case of second sleeve, not second sock syndrome, that's another thing, but of Sleeve Island. And I just thought, you know what, if I start knitting correctly now, it's gonna look really weird. You know, like half a sleeve that looks normal and then the other. So I just continue knitting. I finally finished it and I didn't like it at all. I felt like I had ruined this sweater because I hadn't knit it correctly. It also was supposed to be a bit bigger, so that made me sad as well because I started this in February. I finished it in, I don't even know. I have my Ravelry. I don't think I put it in 9 projects. No, I wasn't even on Ravelry yet. And when I finally finished it, I was sad because I twisted all the stitches. I didn't knit it in the size that I wanted. It was itchy, which is also why I'm wearing a shirt underneath. I was sad and I was over knitting. I just thought this is difficult. And then you put all this effort in and you make something you don't like. Then we went to Nice, the same place that I talked about in my last video. And we bought this pink yarn. I'm actually going to show you because it's right behind me. In the same closet. Oh, right. This is also the sweater that I mentioned. The second sweater I ever knit. That was not my shade. Blue, washed out. See the difference? I really like this yarn though. So we found this yarn, also a hand dyed, and I had learned how to knit this, and then I thought maybe I don't like knit, ooh, damn. Maybe I don't like knit garments knit on chunky needles. Maybe it's just the fact that I need to do a slow going, smaller needle project and I like it better. So I did another petite knit pattern. It's the Monday sweater, and I knit it up so fast. I think I knit it in a month, but as I said before, the color just didn't suit me at all. So I finished it, I wore it, and I just was so disappointed again. So then I put it down, gave up on it, on knitting for a while. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm going on a very extreme tangent. Side quest from my patterns, but I'm sure you can skip to the next part if you don't want to hear me talk about this. And then I started knitting again in this year, or the end of last year, so October-ish. So that's the gist on my knitting journey, which started with this. So I thought it'd be fitting to wear it. Also now, after a year, it was in my closet and I realized I actually do kind of like, I like the chunky fit. I think I would, this is something I would honestly buy and wear. So I think I looked too critically at the garments that I made. Now I'm excited about knitting again. Like, it's not that I haven't been, but the past year has made me more and more excited, and my queue has just grown. There's so much on there I want to knit, so I can't wait to share a lot of them with you. I think you're gonna love them. Like, I would buy some of these things. Also, I've already bought the yarn for a few, which I've showed you in the previous video, so I won't show you everything. So to start, I'm gonna show you this yarn really quickly, but I've shown you this yarn and I've shown you the vision, which I will put up again. I was chatting to knitting friends that I made now because of this podcast, and I stumbled across the Norma sweater, which has obviously color work in it, but then I realized the Norma has a mock neck, the Norma has a raglan, the Norma has the wide set sleeves, and I put the two literally together, which I will do if this is available space. I cannot see in the frame, but if you put them next to each other, they are literally the same fit, and that makes me really happy because I've been looking through a lot. I'd look through the Paloma sweater. Personally, I don't love that because it has a little bit of a bulge near the mock neck. I know I'm gonna get annoyed by that. So I've also knit a swatch for this, which I'm gonna quickly get because there was a dilemma there. Oh my gosh, it's right here. I am blind. Anyway, I wanted to knit this on 4.5 millimeters because the inspo picture is also quite chunky. So I thought the 4.5 or 5 millimeter look will really recreate the vision. Though the strand of yarn isn't as thick as I thought it would be, which means you can slightly see through the material. So I'm sure, I don't know if you can see this, but sorry, that's the back. I was stressing because I really like this color and it's really soft. I don't want to mix it with something else. I also don't have the budget to be, well, I didn't think I had the budget. I didn't really have the budget to be buying more expensive yarn. I just quickly looked up whether or not they still had this color. They still have it on sale. So they sell it instead of 90 euros, it's sold for 45 euros for 3 hanks. Also, this vision, I'm so excited about it. Yeah, because I keep coming back to the fact that I think if you're knitting a sweater that you love and that you're going to be spending a lot of time on, it should be knit with yarn that makes you excited. And if the yarn doesn't make you excited, then what's the point? That's the first autumn knitting plans thing. Second, I have mentioned them in my previous video, so I'll quickly go through them. But the second one is sweater number 32 from My Favorite Things Knitwear in this tweedy, burgundy, and a beigey light pink. I found it. I've shown this before, but I mean, I need to show this again because this is the roundup that I'm going to be looking back on. The stripes are so in right now, and I think the way that sweater number 2 is constructed is really stylish and timeless. I'm also into knitting a few more timeless items that are basic but not basic, so that's definitely on my list. Anyway, those are the plans that I already shared with you, so I'm not going to go into much detail of those. Now I'm going to share with you the other plans that I have, and I'm just going to put a few pictures up of how I would style them and the vibe that I would go for if I were to knit these. I'm going to quickly look at my phone because I've saved them all in here. Oh my gosh, yes. The first one that is quite high on my list as well is the Glacis sweater. Sweater by Sophia Scottford. Her sample is knit in an Isiger yarn tweed and a silk mohair, and it features this gorgeous detail over the shoulders. I love this design. It's so different. I haven't even seen it in stores. I really like the detail. Also, I don't usually, well, I've never knit anything in brown or beige. One in white, but it was a speckled white. So I grant myself immunity. But I might actually want to recreate this sample. The only thing is brown. I feel like brown to brunettes is what navy blue is to blondes. And then emerald green for the redheads. So I'm gonna be diving out of my palette here. But I love this sweater so much. It looks so high-end. It looks so expensive. It looks regal. I need it. Some colors I have thought of, which would be really more funky, would be like a blue sweater and then maybe like an orange cord, or a very dark burgundy red with the dusty pink detailing on the side. So I'm already slightly knitting the sweater number 2 in those colors, which is why I opted out of picking those colors for the Glacis sweater, which is why I didn't end up buying yarn for the Glacis sweater. Also, I love a sage green moment, so I'm thinking, I think Isiger also has a tweed in a dark green. I think a light green stitch detail would look really cool as well. The other pattern that is on my radar this winter is the Amagaro sweater from Fest Nets. I don't know if you've seen this on social media, but I'm so hyped to be making this. First of all, it's a raglan, which I love. It's my favorite knitting construction. Second, it's so unique. It has like a mohair running through as a vertical stripes and also along the sleeves. I don't know what stitch it is, but it's really different. I think you can go crazy with color combinations. It's by the same designer that made the bikini slip over, and I think she made those in a few really cool colors that you could even apply to the Amager Bro sweater. Her sample as well, I'll put it up, is really nice. I saw someone else knit it in like a brown and a dusty pink. Some other colors I was thinking of for this sweater would be maybe a dark navy and then a butter yellow stripe. If you're into the beiges, then go crazy and combine those, because I think that honestly will look really good too, and it's still a bit different than just your standard raglan. Also, if you're not that into knitting with color, it can like dip your toes in the water and pick a crazy mohair and then can slightly flow into the colorful side of knitting. The pattern isn't out yet. I honestly don't have any details on when it will be out. Just waiting for it to come. Another one, this is not a new pattern, and I don't know if this is a trend or not, but I'm really into very chunky cables, and then especially in a very vibrant color. So I've already made sweater number 29 in Malabrigo Rios in this cobalt blue. I saw that one of my favorite knitwear designers, Ingrid Dibb, has a rose sweater. It's very chunky, and the cables each twist a different direction. I have seen a few samples of this sweater in a marled yarn combination. It's giving a bit of those vintagey fisherman sweaters. So that's definitely on my knitting list as well. The version by Sims Strick on Instagram is really nice. It's in a, how would you describe that blue? Dusty-ish blue and a white combined. I think that looks really cool. So that's also on my knitting list this winter. I don't know if I'm gonna get to this one, but I do know that if I don't get to it, I'm definitely getting to it next year. I really want to make this. I just need to find the right yarn, and I'm sure I'll stumble across it. Oh, another one I really like is the Lilies sweater by the Amcom. Thea Marie Eilertsen. I'm sorry. Anyway, but she made this really pretty butter yellow sample with bell sleeves, but only at the end of the sleeve is when they really flare out. It also has a mock neck. Those of you that watched my last video know that I'm really struggling with the Selene cardigan by Marika Knit. I'm first gonna try a lot of the tips that were left, so smaller knitting needles, backwards knitting, steeking, and there was a few more. Ooh, English versus continental style knitting. I was so tempted to frog it and to knit this one, because I need this. But I already have a butter yellow sweater. Not one that I made, but whenever I would want to wear a butter yellow sweater, I'd have to choose one of the two. I think a cardigan is more versatile, and I think it's just a different garment to what I already own. So it's the reason I didn't frog it and I didn't start knitting this. I personally think that this sweater knitted in a sage green is everything. I really want to knit that. I just haven't. Honestly, if a hand dyer presents itself or an opportunity arises for a good sage DK weight yarn, then I mean, they're gonna get me. I haven't been on the hunt. I've been passively hunting. If it finds me, I will buy it, because I think a good sage is rare. A lot of them seem bland. A lot of them are a bit too watered down. Also, I don't want a superwash, so I'm quite picky, but this in a sage is really high on my list. Also, oh my god, this in like a plum would look really good. This isn't high on my list. This is just in the cloud, and it's like ripe for the plucking. It's just there. It's just in the back rooms of my head. Oh my god, someone has a really nice lime one. BBB Strikke Club. Ooh, I also love a chartreuse. Chartreuse? I don't know if that's correct, but another sweater that is on my mind, not on my list, on my mind, is, I don't know what it's called. No. Who made that? Button Me Up cardigan. I love the color she knit the sample in as well. The only thing is I don't have a button collection yet. So I have this pattern in the back of my mind, and I've been looking into ordering a lot of vintage buttons, or not necessarily vintage, but secondhand buttons from Vinted. But until I have my curated button collection going for me, then I will not be doing this, because I think the beauty does lie in the gorgeous selection of buttons, and I need a lot of them. So I really want to make this after I've collected the goods to make this. For the color, I really like hers. I also think this would look really good in like a sandy beige, even though I'm not that beigey, but with a sandy beige cardigan, and then all the buttons need to be colored. I think that would look really cool. She has one sample of it in cobalt blue, but I think the other blue looks better to me. Very fun knit. I also really like her other cardigan, the crooked cardi with those clasps on the front. But until I finish my first cardigan, I am not planning on knitting any other cardigans, because this is hard for me. I'm not a cardigan knitter. Maybe I will be if everyone's tips get me through it, then maybe. But until then, I don't even dare. I'm not even thinking of cardigans. They're not even on my radar. If I see a pattern that I like and it's like, oh, but it's a cardigan, oh, so it doesn't exist to me. It's not an option. But for those that do like cardigans, I will put a picture up of this crooked cardi by Simstrick. I don't know if the pattern's out on all of these. I'm sorry. This is just the inspiration that I've been looking at recently. Another cardigan that I won't be knitting because it's a cardigan, but that is really nice, is the pattern by Dama Patterns. The Dama's Crochet Cardi. It's knit in panels, I think. I'm sorry, I haven't really delved into this because that means I have to be knitting back and forth for every panel. It's not something that's gonna work for me. She has this sample in a matcha colored bright green with brown stitch detailings on the side. I was so tempted to make this, but then I started knitting the Solen cardigan. It was either or. Also, for those that like knitting cardigans, what was it called? The Clematis Sweater. Personally, I like the Clematis Sweater chunky more than I like the fine one, because I think it gives it a little bit more of a, in Dutch we say stoerder, but I don't know the direct translation of that. Also, did you see Petite Knit came out with that blouse of hers suspiciously shortly after the Clematis sweater came out? I don't know if that's just a coincidence or if that cardigan is heavily inspired by the Clematis sweater, which I hope not, because I love Petite Knit and I like her patterns. I hope she's not making money off of smaller creators in the space. Just wanted to throw that out there. I do really like Petite's Knit version as well, but I'm a little bit wary of, I find it a bit suspicious that they came out around the same time, but that's also a nice one. Another one that I love is the Volar blouse by Aigyo Knit. I love the batwing look. I think it's regal and elegant and gorgeous. I think it is knit on very small needles, at least that's what it looks like. And also, if I were to knit this, I've been looking at a few of the samples, I would definitely be knitting this in a darker color because it hides the seam on the front. I don't know I mean, you don't necessarily have to hide it, but I think it looks better if it's a little less obvious than it is in lighter colors. I like that you can strap up the sleeves a bit higher, and it's multifunctional. I think it looks really good. This again, one of those greens would look really nice. But honestly, I've never been tempted, but I would love this in black. I think it would look so chic, and you could really style it up and down both. I don't work, I'm a student. But if you were to work, this is such office attire. It looks so good. So I thought I'd mention it as well. There's many more patterns that I really like, and I can honestly make a part 2, but I don't think you need to be sitting here listening to all the patterns that have ever inspired me. These are just recent ones that I really like and that I have been thinking about recently when buying yarn and planning what I was gonna do. So my actual cue right now is going to be the mock neck, then the sweater number 32, and then the that plum pink Rike sweater. I've also thought of making the Glacis sweater in this color, which I would love your opinion on, because would the Glacis sweater look good in, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, it's so dark. I just realized it's not even that late. It's just raining. Damn. Okay, I'm gonna turn on the light and I just hope it's gonna look pretty, but it might not. But I'm sorry. I am gonna turn on the light. Anyway, would the Glacis sweater look good in this shade, or would you just recommend it in that gorgeous tweed of Isiger? The jury's still out on that. Then Glacis sweater is definitely on my to-do, and then I might just make a ranking of the order that I would, there's a mohair in my eye, of the order that I would knit these in. I love the patterns that have been coming out recently. It's inspiring me to even diverge into making my own patterns. Speaking of making my own patterns, actually, I crochet. I'm more comfortable crocheting than I am knitting. I have made a few of those bubble clutches. I'm gonna get one to show you. I make these pouches. They are bubble bags and they have this strap on the side. They have a nice zipper. They're quite big. I fit a lot of my on-the-go projects on there, but they're also really good gift knits, which means I've been making a few more, such as this one in beige for Christmas for a relative that I hope isn't watching this. Like this beige marled with a white mohair. This sample is knit in these two, and then I got a few questions on my Instagram story for how I set up the knitting for the bottom and then how I convert to crochet for the top parts. And so I decided to write up a pattern for it. I think it's really nice, especially now for gift season, if you can just blindly follow the pattern. And I think it's easier for me to write a pattern than to explain individually to everyone that wants to know more about it. So I've been working on that. I have a few testers that are going to start testing it. I don't know when this video is going up, but today it is the 3rd of November, which means the pattern is in the works, almost done, editing the last things. I'm gonna send it out, and then I hope by the end of November that everyone has finished their bags. I'm very interested to see the colors everyone's gonna choose. If you have that one crazy hank in a crazy color like that, so that pattern is actually coming out. So to start off with the accessories, that's what I'm going to be knitting for the next few weeks. A few of these bubble pouches. I mean, how nice if you get one of these for Christmas. Yeah, I have about 4 and I use them so much. Another accessory that I saw on Instagram. Personally, I don't wear mini scarves, but if you do, boy, do I have the pattern for you, because it is called, let me check, the Tomo Bandana by Wool.knitwear. Oh, it's not a mini scarf. I'm sorry, it's slightly bigger. It is a mohair scarf with a colored I-cord edge. So it allows you to combine the hanks that are left over from other projects, especially for the I-cord edge. You don't need that big of a ball of yarn to be able to complete this. Oh, I'm gonna put all these pictures up because it looks so nice. And I think you can really personalize this to the person you're gift knitting for, or for yourself. I'm focusing a little bit on gift knits right now because it is November and Christmas is right around the corner. So gift knitting is starting, if not already started. So that accessory is, I kind of want to make it even though I don't. Usually I prefer bigger scarves, but I'm sure maybe you could change the pattern a bit for it to be a bit bigger. Maybe I'll try that. Do be mindful of knitting a soft mohair or ask the person you're knitting it for if they're tolerant of scratchiness around their face, because I'm not that tolerant. Another accessory that is maybe a bit boring to those of us that are sock knitters, but to me, I really like it, is the Tuva Sandok knitted socks 1. And she has one sample of them that is so incredibly fluffy. It's like your feet are in a cloud. I think they look really high-end, actually. Look also really nice in those Uggs or in Birkenstocks. Then another accessory that I knit all the time, which I'm going to show you now because I started knitting it yesterday. I'm going to share this in my podcast. I'm not going to talk too much about it. But these are the Chantal mittens by Marika Knit that I shared last time, that I made them in cobalt blue, I believe. That's what you call that color, cobalt blue. I am now making it in this dusty pink as well. I don't know how well you can see it, but it is so soft. I'm knitting it. It's like this shade. This knits up so fast. I was in the train for 40 minutes yesterday and I already knit that much. So you knit about 10 centimeters of the first part, then you divide for the thumb and the rest of the fingers. You only have to knit that much more, and then a tiny, it's so fast and it's so portable, which is why I enjoy knitting this pattern so much. It's a really good gift knit as well, but also these I'm just making them for myself. I mean, how many colors? I mean, you can never have too many colors of a cute pair of mittens or fingerless gloves or any hand accessory. Other accessories that I really want to make are, so if you're into crochet, they also have these knitting ruffle wrist warmers. They're called, by Emmy Madeline Crochet. They're really cute, and obviously crochet is very fast. Okay, something that's very unrelated maybe to garments and accessories that you can wear. You might find this a bit weird, but I have just moved into a new place and I'm always looking at new ways to decorate it, and I saw they crocheted around a photo and then would put it in a frame, so I'm gonna put that up here. How cute if you print out like a black and white picture like this person did, and then knit in some crazy yarns around it, and then put it in a frame, then wrap it up and put it in under the Christmas tree. I would love to get this. And I'm definitely doing this for my house. Also, just mittens. I don't necessarily have a pattern in mind, but I'm definitely gonna put this picture up. Any mittens. And also, the viral, I mean, if you've been on social media, the sailor slippers. I really wanna make those. I don't have a washing machine yet because we are waiting for Black Friday. That's why I haven't made them yet. But I think these slippers also make such good gifts. I'm a bit scared to felt them, because I've never felted anything before. I've never even machine washed any of my garments because I'm scared of it felting. So things I'm definitely making are the Chantal mittens. I might look into those Tomo bandana scarf situations. Socks or mittens. I'm just gonna spend all of November first on making a few more bowl pouches and finishing my pattern up, because I think it would be really nice to have that up for the people that want to knit it for their Christmas gifts, because this pattern works up so fast. Oh my gosh, also scrunchies, always such a good gift, knitted or crocheted. Okay, I'm sorry, this is a sweater that I forgot to mention. I didn't even mention so many sweaters that I want to make. Kind of want to make a part 2 to this. I might. It depends if this does well. If you like the inspiration I shared, if not, then I will not bother you with a second video at all. Don't worry about that. But yeah, there's still so many sweaters that I want to share. I've bought yarn for a few that I didn't even mention today. It was some kind of quarter zip with stripes, and so I already have yarn for that. And then I have a very soft alpaca one, but I also don't know the name of the sweater off the top of my head. So there's definitely more patterns in my mind circulating, but I don't think we need a video of an hour, and I don't know if you're even interested to hear all of my plans. So I thought I'd just keep it concise and share the ones that have really caught my eye over the past few weeks. I'm excited to see if you make these. If you're making any of these, please share what colors you're making them in, because I find color choice one of the hardest things. I hope to have casted on the orange mock neck if the yarn arrives for my next podcast video. Let me know if you've enjoyed this. I really, really, really appreciate all the comments that were left on my previous video. I just wanted to thank you guys for taking the time to subscribe and to comment and to like the video, because I really didn't expect it. It's made me excited to film some more content. I also have a stash that needs to be organized, so I've also thought to film that. Yeah, there's a lot more that I would love to share with you if you would like to have me. So thank you for listening. This was quite chaotic. I apologize. For the next video, if you want to see another one with more of my inspiration, then I will have a better structure. This is the first time knitting a knitting plans video or filming a knitting plans video, and I do not really have it down or the technique down yet. So I'm sorry I didn't even put the crochet things at the end. I didn't listen to myself. I tried. For the description, I'm gonna try and put all the links in the description of this video. Last time it didn't work because I had to have some kind of verification before I could upload links. So if it's not in the description, it's only because I'm still working on getting that right. Again, any tips are always welcome. Please let me know what you're knitting on, because as you can see, I save a lot of patterns. My queue is long. It can always be longer. I hope you have a nice day, a nice evening, a nice week. I don't know when you're watching this. I don't even know when I'm uploading this. I hope my testers, if you're watching this, you're having a good time. I will see you next time.